Welcome to Peak Health Revolution. My name is Logan Grundy, and today I'm going to be taking you through about a 15-minute mobility routine that requires zero equipment. So let's jump straight into it. What we're going to do is start off with our hips. What we want to do is in a squatting position, we're just going to come back and forth between these two. This is great. It helps open the hips up because we're both rotating this way and we're getting a chance to open it up. So really good, easy to do beginning move for us. So this is great after a long day of sitting at a desk, or alternatively right before you go do a leg day. These can be really good for just helping you hit a little bit more depth, a little easier if you're gonna go work your legs out. So easy start, and then what we're going to do, we're going to stay in that low squatting position, open your legs up as much as you need to, and then we're just going to do some T-spine rotations here. So you can sit right down into it, or you can lift your butt up just a little bit and get that rotation in. If you need to, go to that nice wide stance, open your angle up a bit to 45 degrees out if you need to, or even lift your heels off the ground just a little bit will make it that much easier for you. So this is going to be a pretty active mobility sequence that we're going to run through here. Lots of movement throughout it. Next, we're going to come up a little bit, widen that stance even more, keep our feet turned out to about that 45. And now what we want to do is not just drop into this and back up like this. If you can't get into this next variation, that's fine to just do this. Come down as far as you can, come back up. If you need to, even grab like a pole or something to support you. But ideally what we want to do is just these low transitions back and forth from this lowest position. This is really going to challenge your hips quite a bit. So if you can't get this low, don't worry about it. You can definitely be up a little bit higher here. Or like I said, if you can't get into that, just come to whatever depth you can get into here and move in and out of it. And with time, you'll notice, hey, I can get deeper into it, and then eventually I can just slide across in that low position. So you guys should feel your hips and the muscles around there starting to warm up. Maybe even ache a little bit, but definitely warming up from doing all of this hip focused stuff. Great way to just kind of think about just polishing and moving and everything around in that hip joint is exactly what we want to do there. Next thing, still using that wider stance, but now we're going to move up into kind of our hips and our lower back. Instead of just like right down where that femur is coming up into our hips, we're now into our lower back. Basically, we're just sweeping ourselves around, coming up. When we hit here, this is where we're going to start to really feel the stretch through this side, and then pop just a little bit. Just come forward, let the hips drift forward until you feel a stretch in the front of the hip a little bit, and then you're going to rotate down and around. Do that on both sides. So if you get lower back pain, this is a really good one to do. And what you might notice is that you get significantly more of a stretch on one side than the other, which will indicate to you that that lower back is tighter. So you might be thinking, I found my problem, it's on that side. But what's actually oftentimes the case is that it's actually your glute muscles on the other side, because your hips are essentially dropping as you step, and the lower back's trying to hold that up for you, and then it's getting really tired of trying to do that and tightening up. So it's actually oftentimes something that you need to work on is actually strengthening your glutes more than it is stretching out that lower back. So next one we're going to go into, we're going to use a wall. You're going to lift up your leg that's closest to the wall, hinge forward till you're about here, about 45 degrees. Then you're going to take this arm, try and open up, and you're just pushing a little bit of pressure into that wall to kind of keep you where you're at. Now we'll switch over, we'll do the other side, same thing. A little bit of pressure into that wall, tilting over. And again, you might notice you rotate to one side a little bit better than the other. These are all things you just want to kind of take note of and put in your back pocket and kind of be aware of. The next one, what we're going to do, we're going to get into kind of a hands and knees position, lift up off our knees just a little bit, and then we're going to rotate over and around. So you're just coming back, and then you're going to pop your hips and everything up, stretch out, reach this arm out, come back down, do that same thing going the other way. This one has a ton of benefits for us. We're extending through our whole front body, which usually we're closing down. It's not too often that we're opening everything up. So that includes hips, our abdomen, our shoulder. But not only that, pay attention to what's happening at your shoulder as you go through this. The amount of movement in that joint of the arm that's actually supporting you, there's a ton of movement there with a bit of load on it. So it is great for your shoulder health to be doing these on a regular basis, not only because it opens it up, but it also loads that shoulder with movement under it. So that is going to be great for you long term, helping stabilize your shoulder, helping strengthen your shoulder. All the good things that we want our shoulder to be able to do. Which is why we're going to finish with one last exercise that's going to strengthen kind of think like the back part of your shoulder. All right, so let's get into that last one. So a lot of the times our shoulders are rolled forward. We want to get them brought back, so we need to not only stretch on the front of the shoulder, our pec, we also need to do strengthening exercises that open that shoulder up. So what we want to do, lay here, arms go straight out in front of us, lift your body up just a little bit, support yourself by lifting your chest up, arms up, coming around, rotating your hands as you go, back your hands touch, come back around, front of your hands touch. And you'll do somewhere between 8 and 12 of these, depending what you're capable of. Trying to keep those arms up there, keep the chest up. And then just kind of head isn't cranked way up, it's just kind of looking at the floor. And you want to get rotation through those arms as you go. Nice work, you guys. There we go. That is our mobility routine for this morning or this afternoon, evening, whatever time you're getting it done. Really good starter for the hips, warming them up. after a long day sitting at a desk or going into the gym, whatever it is that you're about to do, and then finishing with some good strong shoulders.